You ready for me to go?
Okay, so yes, just now that we've started recording, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Barry Burns from Top Dog Trading, along with Gary Odom, the programmer for this amazing program, the Top Dog Visualized Trader. And this is kind of a second level of training that we're doing, and this has been put together after we've got a lot of people using the product and have had some time with the product, and now they have more questions after having the time using the product, which is great, So now we're getting to, a next level of questions after people having some experience under their belt. So, and then we've also had a lot of questions already come in writing, and Gary's made note of those, and we'll be addressing those as well. But for those of you who are here live, feel free to type any questions you have into the question box, and I will be happy to, from time to time, read those out loud for Gary. If you have any questions for me specifically, I'll be happy to answer those as well. But Gary's the programmer, so I'm going to give him the floor to begin with, and we'll just go with the flow. We're just here to answer your questions and to make sure that you're getting the answers you want. We don't come in with a prearranged agenda, so to say. This is really to be here for you and give you the help that you need, answer the questions you've had after using the program now for a month or two. So, Mr. Odom, take it over, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Burns is correct. We do not have a pre-planned format tonight. There is some form of guidance, however, that I have received on the service email, and I have had the opportunity to talk to, communicate with about 40 or 50 users with various questions. Some of them were at length, and some of them were multiple times, some of them were one time through. But I got some questions that I think I need to address because I received those questions more than once. And in my responses, many times, I asked these people if they had a trading plan, because having a good, effective trading plan would have prevented some of those questions from coming in. So that's why I'm mentioning it to you. It's a missing link in your trading if you do not have an effective trading plan. Now, I am not going to assume you can sit down one night and effectively write a trading plan. It's something that does evolve with use. And if you do not have one, I would suggest that you put one together, give it about 20 good trades and see how it works out, figure out what it is you need to change with it, do so, and give it another 20 good trades. And when you finally get to that point that you feel that you have comfortably arrived at a method of trading that fits your personality, because no two people trade the same, regardless of how many different methodologies out there. There are tenfold more people trading those methodologies differently. So it's really a highly personal thing. I recall when doing a mentoring course once, I talked to the coach, and I said, I think I got this figured out. I think what you want us to do is to fumble around long enough until we finally figure out what we need to do. He says, well, you're right. So it worked for me. Perhaps it'll work for you. One of the other questions I had was about entries. And the questions really revolved around specific entries, specific points. They don't exist. And I say that. They can exist if you want them to. I mean, if that's the way you build your trade plan around. But they don't have to be. And I'm going to show you some examples so you can see how flexible they are. I have 3 charts on the screen. You don't need 3 charts. You can trade with 2 charts. And as a matter of fact, if you're doing day trading, it's probably preferable that you use 2 charts. And I'll show you some examples of why that might be true. Now, I'm not going to tell you how you should trade, but I am going to tell you how the program works, why the errors appear up there, and how you can use them, and what options that you have in their usage. I have this, here's a little thing called a sample watch list, and it's because I have 3 symbols up there. I don't want to talk all night about this because I want to give a cursory overview and then start answering some questions that you folks have. I have Abbott Laboratories up here. Now, we can talk about this one I have up here. It's one of the things that came up on my scan today, and what I found so remarkable about it. This happens to be a long-term charts, because that's what I trade. Day, 2 hour, 40 minute. That's me. That's what I'm all about. I have day traded, and I will show you with the TF later in just a few minutes the way I day traded, and effectively using these symbols, these signals as well. I left my tongue, I think, somewhere else, perhaps on the coffee table. But what's so amazing about this particular movement is the gaps that are every day. It gapped up and up and up, and would it not have been remarkable to have caught this first signal that when it come off of this 50 moving average? Well, if you, I'm gonna draw a timeline there. I think I am. No, maybe I have the wrong one here. No, it's time level. Yeah, I'm going to draw a timeline right here. And what we can do from that, I'm not sure I can roll this back. It only goes 20 days. Yep, here it is. What we can do for that is actually develop a little trading methodology that does not require 3 sequential arrows. As a matter of fact, you can do it with 2 if you like. But if we draw this as our first chart and we go to the next chart to make sure that it's moving in our direction, well, you notice that it started moving, and I'm going to tell you what chart I'm on because these crosshairs go to all charts. I'm on the middle chart, and you can see down here in the corner, we already have a signal telling us it's moving in our direction. This is long-term confirmation over here. Soon as we get this signal, if you only want to use 2 charts, you can enter this trade. It's perfectly acceptable because what we're showing is all the energies are going in our direction time and time and time again. It is true they may back off when these candles take little slight retracements and that sort of thing, but again, we're trading on a longer time frame, and we can allow the slippage in this without any problem whatsoever. Now on a shorter chart, you notice we don't have any signals at all, and we may not care. But if we do, if we feel like that's that extra assurance that we need, we have a signal that occurs here. I can't see if it, well, I can too, but I didn't realize I was that far to the edge. We actually had a signal occur here much earlier in the game. So if we're just playing energies, it would be perfectly acceptable because we have the signal that occurred here, and it has just now occurred here after a retrace because we got this red signal down here. What we're doing is just we're playing into the middle of the energy move. This appears to be contradictory to the top dog methodology, but it isn't, because in the background those cycles and the waves are, I mean, the stochastic cycles are turning it up and down and fitting in proper positions, and the MACD and the DADs all lining up in order to generate these signals. And in each of these charts, the short chart and the middle chart and then the longer term chart, the short chart has waves within a wave in the middle chart, and the middle chart has waves within a wave in the long chart. And the best way to illustrate that is this right here is one candlestick, but yet within this one candlestick we have a lot of waves. So if you not necessarily catching it on after the first retrace or something in that regard, it's not a problem. Just make sure that you're not in it for too long. Well, we're certainly not in it too long on the longer chart. So that is an approach where it does not require all 3 signals. Now I'm going to go back to the ones that actually don't have to wing it on quite so much. I think I pre-marked these for you. tried to do is I tried to roll these back. I guess it didn't. I like to roll it back far enough that we can look at the progression of the price as it moves on. And we'll just start here. I'll just put a marker line in there, just so we'll know where we're at. And I can see this is a particular day. At this point, it would be, what does it tell me? 10:20 a.m. on 2/5. This would have perhaps been a, no, it would not have been at this point. I was going to say a scan result, but it may have occurred here at this point. So I'm going to move this line. This would have come up on my scan, and a reason for it is my scan's set for 2 hour and day. I need a signal on each one, and this is where it would have come up on my scan. So this would have probably been the first time I'd looked at it. I wouldn't have looked at everything that was going on before. And when I do look at it, I will notice that I'm crossing a 50. That means I'm real early into the wave count. We had a little ABC pattern here. We're starting out, looks like maybe wave 2 or 3. And we also have the similar thing going on in the middle chart. We have signals on both charts. Now I need to find it on this short chart where that day is. Here it is right here. Well, we'll see here that that signal has not occurred anywhere. So if we were looking for signals in all three charts, we would have to wait until this signal right here on the short chart appears, and that would be your entry point. That means we have a signal here, a signal here, and a signal here. That's three sequential signals. Not sequential, but simultaneous signals. You don't need them. You can trade after a signal has occurred. If the only signal we had was this signal on the bottom down here, and this one up here, and we're talking about entering in between those signals, that's fine, because you're still entering with the flow of the energies. This is longer charts. I'm going to go to the short charts because I know a lot of you guys trade them that way. And we're going to use the 27-minute, 9-minute, and 3-minute. Now things change quite a bit when you go to your shorter charts. You don't have quite as much slippage as you can use, and it's a good idea to get kind of cranked down on the accuracy to make sure you get good entries. Let's see, if I were scanning this, I might be scanning, let me back this up if I can. I'm afraid I'm going to get it back too far and not be able to pull my short chart back. Okay, let me move this piece right here. This which could be very possible right at this point. I got a signal here and a signal here, and it could very well resolve to my scan to be in the scan up here in this list that comes up. So this would be first appear in my scan list. I hope I can pick it up. Yep, there it is right there. Well, frankly, if this showed up on my scan and I pulled it up and I was looking at it and it's over here like so, we don't see nothing else, right? Be nice if we could, but it doesn't work that way. So we got this here looking at us here. Come on, there we go. We got it sitting here, and you said, gee, I'm kind of spooked. I see this has just come up, and if you wait a little bit, you're going to see a red candle that might spook you. But, you know, frankly, everything looks real positive. You know, you got a big move up there. This is kind of flattened out. Is this going to be a successful trade? I don't know. But you know what? I really don't care. If I'm doing proper risk management, I can afford to lose a few trades. But here's a trade that we take without being having simultaneous signals. And as you can see, it would have worked out all right. Your trade would have probably been right in here somewhere, and we're looking at about maybe 45.35 as being a close stop. I don't know that I would have set it that close, but even at a 45.35, and it would take you out. I think it will. No, you get away with it. You get away with it. It stays out of your stop, and it keeps on going up. It retraces again. It still doesn't hit your stop. It's still going up. So even with all this erratic movement that we have, you would still be in this trade right at this point. So you get your stop set, and of course, then it really takes. This would have been a super trade. And when you get on the other side of the hoop, she starts going down, and you could exit out here. So you're getting in at about 45, 46, and getting out about somewhere around in here, 46.40. Now you say, gee, that's not very much money. No, because this is day trading. You just make a lot of them like this. That's about $1. So, you know, $46 stock. If you don't want to put too much out there, maybe, I don't know, 300 shares, still $300. And you originally entered the trade at about 10.18, and you're getting out somewhere around, I guess it's the next day, 10.08, 10.06, something like that. So that's an overnight trade. I generally don't hold things overnight, but that's the way it works. But what we can do if we want to day trade and make some money is we can day trade on the futures, and I know Dr. Burns does. I used to trade the futures a great deal. I made a lot of money doing it, but it does take a little bit of care and feeding while things are going on, and I just didn't want to invest that time in there. Okay, there it is. I pre-marked this. I pulled the chart over as far as I could get it, so when to follow this would give us a lot of room to be able to follow it. If I can find it over here. This is 2415. Oh, I'm on 219. Nine minute, yeah. There it is. I'm gonna roll this one back. There it is. There's the pink line. All I'm trying to do is get these charts to line up with each other right now, so we can kind of make it look realistic. Okay, this would be where we would be in the day. I just picked a spot. Not to say there's a scan or anything going on. Just trying to make the most use out of the. Where'd it go? Okay. There it is. And then we'll roll this one over to here. Way too fast. What's going on? You get a thing to move. That's interesting. Can't get my chart to move. I don't know why it did that. Huh. Well, we'll just leave it there because I can't get it back over to the edge for some reason. Here we are in a long-term chart. We do have positive signals running all through here that we were looking at before, but we might be concerned that maybe we're into this wave count. Might be a little bit too much. You can count them manually, or we can do it this way just for a quick check. And here we got them here. They're very easy to detect this way. So you just count the tops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a lot of waves in here. I'm going to take that off because it gets in my way. We got a lot of wave counts, and it might be something to be concerned about. However, we are trading a 27, 9-minute, and 3-minute charts, and we probably won't be in this trade over an hour. I don't know where we're getting in yet. I was just trying to line these charts up, so we got to find us a trade. So if we're looking for our first signal to trade, we can either operate off of this one and then look for our first indicator off the middle chart, or if you wanted to use the longer chart, you could and wait for an initial signal to trigger. Frankly, I'm not going to use this chart. I'm just going to use the middle chart and the short chart, which to me is all I need to day trade. Well, I got a signal here, and I don't know where it's supposed to. Oh, let me get it over here some more. Well, actually, I can't move that chart over, so we just say I have a signal here, and I don't have one here yet, since I can't see the charts. But I do have one here, and I do have one there. Now, why would I take a trade here? Well, frankly, I wouldn't. Look at the volume. I have no volume. I mean, this is a time of the day that is not where I want to trade. It's 1:18 in the morning. So you have to watch that. I mean, yeah, the market's open around the clock, but it's not always a good time to trade. So we would just wait and things. Let's look at the market open now. We roll it in there for about, oh, well, we're starting to get some volume here. Maybe a foreign market or something starting to enter. I don't know what comes in around 3 a.m. Eastern time, but there are some signals here. We have some short signals here. We can look at the tops of this thing. It is going down. How in the world do we get these charts to line up? It says 4 a.m. there and 4:06 a.m. Oh, there we go. Now I can see them. All right. We have a short signal here, and it is breaking through the moving average. And shortly after that, we have a short signal here. And to me, that is confirmation enough. I couldn't use the previous signals because I had a green signal here. So I'm confirmed enough as far as I'm concerned. I can enter right here on the short chart, right there on that bar. We'll just say the middle of the bar. So it's 191.60. I'm probably going to step my stop up here because I know this thing can move crazy. It's not unreal. I used to do this and put a $600 stop on them because that's just the way I played. And anyway, if I entered here, we'd have a rundown, and then of course we'd hit this big green bar. And you know, and I know, we wouldn't sit through this green bar waiting for it to go up here and take our stop out. We would get out surely after it went halfway up the second to last candle, which is 1189.80. I think it was 1191. We'll just say 1191.80 because that makes it easy to subtract from 89. So that's 2 points. 2 points, and on the TF, every point is $100. That's a $200 trade in about an hour. Not bad. Not bad at all. Easy done, and you do it time and time again, and you don't need to use all three charts. You don't even need to line all the errors up. You notice I didn't. I only had one error, and just somewhere in the midst of these other errors going down. It works. What do you know, that's it. That's all you care about. So you wait for this thing to retrace. You get another down arrow. You got one over in the other chart as well. You're ready to go again. You take that trade again. Again, you're going to run it down. It's going to stall out on you and start back up. You get out. That's the way I day trade. I take short little profits and short little trades, and I make a lot of trades. This one here would have probably entered somewhere in here about 1191.30 and be getting out, probably in there 1189.50. Again, another $200 gain. You just do that a few times. This is when I say $200 gain, I'm talking about two contracts. Actually, it's a $400 gain because I'm with two contracts. The other would have been two contracts. It's 400, 400 is 800, and the day's not over yet. The last thing I'm going to look at, and yes, I am just topping these.